Welcome back to the Constructive Liberty Podcast. I'm so glad you're joining me for another episode. It is a day late, but I hope you can forgive me, and I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this one. We're talking about the gap between intent and accomplishment. Start off with a quote of the day from Pablo Picasso. What one does is what counts, not what one had the intention of doing. Let that sink in for a second. It's what one does that counts, not what one had the intention of doing. Wise words from Pablo Picasso. This podcast came from a post that I did on Facebook recently, and I asked the question, I said, why is there such a gap between intent and accomplishment? And I had a lot of really great answers within that. Everything from I lose interest and get discouraged, lack of belief, afraid to leave the comfort zone, doubt, fear, didn't count the cost ahead of time, my conscience gets to me, too many tabs open in my browser, success isn't handed to you, life and hardship happens between the intent and the accomplishment. Procrastination, lack of perseverance, no action plan, constant change in what I want. And then the last one, the most interesting one, I had a really, really good exchange here. Intentions have no power. Think about that for a second. Intentions have no power. And there can be a lot of reasons why a person's intentions don't have power. But I want to read the exchange here. This person commented, said, intentions have no power. And I replied, so are intentions pointless then? They responded, I think so. The smallest deed is better than the great intention. That's a quote by John Burroughs. And so I replied, so how should one decide what action to take if they set no intentions? This person responded, there is no try, only do. And I said, there's no do without intention. It was a fun little exchange. And the last comment came back, said, intentions are merely thoughts and attitude. While it helps, it doesn't actually accomplish anything. The to-do list is action. Think about that for a second. The to-do list is action. There's so many things wrong with that. And I didn't respond at all. I'm responding here on the podcast. The to-do list is not action. The to-do list is simply intent on paper. You intend to set out to do a thing. And a to-do list is merely your intent written down. So I want to go into a little bit why I believe there's such a gap between intent and accomplishment. And I hope I can get all of my thoughts out. I did a little video on this the next day, and I didn't say everything I wanted to say. And I'm hoping that I can let this flow. It'll make sense and all of that. I believe that the reason there's such a gap between what you intend to do and actual accomplishment is because oftentimes you don't really know what you want or really why you want what you want. You know, so often, as the one person commented, we don't count the cost. And if you don't have a why that's outside of yourself, if you stay surface level with your intent, with the things that you chase after, that you go do, then when it starts getting difficult, when the cost is hard, when the cost is high and the actions are hard to follow through on, you don't go all the way through from intent to accomplishment. It gets difficult. When times get hard and you don't have a big enough why, then you fall off of following through on the actions. You don't actually stick with, the action plan or the to-do list, because why? I don't want this thing. I want my comfort more than I want to go through the hardship and receive the reward of following through to the end. your why or your want or your intent has to go deeper than surface level. It has to go down into the core of who you are in life, of what you want to accomplish, of the impact that you want to have in life. For an intent to stick long term and turn into accomplishment, it has to be outer directed. It can't be focused on ourselves. It needs to utilize your gifts, your talents, your personality, and your interest. If those things are not, if they aren't taken into account with your intent, I can intend to eat a sandwich and follow through on that without utilizing my personality and my gifts and talents and skills and all of that. But a big intent, a life goal, something that I want to do and be and have, has to have those elements in it. Has to be focused on the gifts that I've been given, on who I am, and utilizing that to create an impact on the lives of other people. If it's all about me, I'll lose interest in it pretty quick, because it's inner focus. Like, all of our fulfillment in life comes from being outer focus, from utilizing the things that are uniquely us and making a difference for someone else. I'll tell you a little story or an illustration to help demonstrate this. If I say, it'd be kind of cool to go to Idaho this winter, that's just a thought. That is not an intent. Okay? But if I say, okay, I am going to go to Idaho this winter, and I pull out my phone, open the GPS app, and type in Random City, Idaho, and navigate, that then is an intent, because I am I'm planning to do the thing. I'm going on this trip. I'm making the drive there. Now, it hasn't been followed through on yet. It's not action. Intent isn't action, but intent is merely setting the destination for the actions you need to take. It's giving you when you set an intent, you can then understand what actions you need to do to make that intent happen. And you got to follow through on those actions. Then you reach the accomplishment. So the GPS is merely the intent. Getting in the vehicle, like figuring out where I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm writing down, I'm driving through South Dakota. I'm stopping at the Black Hills and doing all of these things. That is my to-do list. That's my action list. Those are the things I have to do to follow through on the intent and bring it to accomplishment. Actually arriving at Random City, Idaho, I don't even know. That's probably not a place. Never heard of a place called Random City, but anyway, actually arriving there is the accomplishment. But it didn't come to pass without the intent and the action plan, the to-do list. These are the things I need to follow through on to make it happen. I have to do those things in the right order in order to reach that accomplishment. But I have to know what I want to do there, why I'm going there. If I just say, oh, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to go to somewhere in Colorado, and so I set my GPS, and along the way I'm kind of getting bored with the drive. It's not a whole lot of fun, and I'm like, what's in Colorado? I don't know what's there. Let's go to South Dakota instead. And then I turn and go there, and I'm setting my intent. I'm making an action plan. But the why, the accomplishment that I wanted to receive, that I wanted to get, wasn't big enough. I needed something deeper. I needed, maybe a family member or an event or something that I wanted to see at that place. I didn't want to just go to the place just for the place. Oh, everybody goes there. It sounds cool. Let's go there. No, it has to be something deeper than surface level. There has to be a reason why you want the accomplishment in order to follow through on the intent and the action. Only in that case will intent turn into accomplishment. That's all I've got for you. It's a short episode today. Join the Telegram group, t.me/constructive liberty. If you want to support the show, you can listen on a Podcast 2.0 app like Fountain, where you can stream sats, which are tiny pieces of Bitcoin, as you listen. You can also buy me a book from my Amazon wishlist. I will drop that link in the show notes. Now, set your intention, create a plan of action, and follow through to accomplishment. If you're having trouble with that, reach out to me. I'd love to walk you through the process. I'll drop a link where you can schedule a call with me in my calendar. I'll give you 30 minutes for free on how to set proper intentions. Do good work.